All right, Shalom. This is Brother Kashakwala coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh by Shemi Hawashai by Shema Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone to rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. You can see the title of the lesson is Wisdom of Woman. You know, uh, you know, it's It's not. Okay? Wisdom is likened unto a woman. It's just like Israel is likened unto a woman. But these are dark sayings. These are like metaphors that the scriptures use or that the Lord uses to explain something. So let me just, matter of fact, because I did get a question on one of my videos. I'm not going to show what the question is, because it's probably going to show the tag of the individual who posted it. But pretty much the individual he asked, you know, well, first I'm gonna go into one of the things he said. Um, who is the wisdom or the spirit that the King Solomon is referring to in Wisdom of Solomon 9:9? And he listed a few more precepts there, and then he was asking, he was confused, and so he was saying, "I am confused. All I know is that the spirit has no gender, or I may be wrong. Please help me understand. Thank you." And then also he said, "Who is the spirit that sitteth by the throne of the Most High, and is she really a female?" So pretty much, I'm just gonna go ahead and get that Wisdom of Solomon 9:9. Let's see, or was it 9:4? Yeah, 9:4. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 9:4. Give me wisdom that sitteth by the throne, and reject me not from among thy children. So the one that sits by the throne, that's speaking about Yahushua. All right. So sometimes when you read the scripts, don't get too. I know Apostle Gabar says it all the time. Don't be too deep. Be one deep. Sometimes when you read some of these scripts, the script is what it is. And it is what it is, like as in face value. That's just the understanding of it straight up. Don't try to get overly deep about it. All right. So even so, putting a gender on what you could say wisdom. Wisdom is like wisdom is even an adjective. It's where you got the word wise. So in a sense, if you want to make wisdom and you got to hear me out here. If you want to make wisdom a female, if I were to call a bro wise, I'm calling him a girl. That's why matter of fact, got this word metaphor right here. And it's a metaphor is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applicable. All right, so the scripture is not always saying something literally about, it's describing something. All right, so in a sense, wisdom is likened unto a woman, just like Israel is likened unto a woman. I'm going to get into both of those scripts. And the first thing I'm going to do is get into how wisdom is likened unto a woman. Because wisdom is nurturing. It brings you up. It teaches you. It comforts you. That's what wisdom does. And the reason it's likened unto a woman is because that's what a female is supposed to do. A wife, mother is supposed to do to her children. So no, wisdom is not a woman. It's just wisdom, that simply put. So like I was saying, don't think too deep on certain things. Wisdom is just wisdom. All right. So it's like the same thing if you put a label or a gender on wisdom, then you got to put a gender on knowledge. You got to put a gender on understanding. You got to put a gender on intelligence. You got to put a gender, and it's not like that. So wisdom is just wisdom. It's just likened unto a woman because of the characteristics that wisdom brings. Okay. Salaki, let me go to 2nd Ezra chapter 13. And just get right to the point. I think it's 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and 55. So it says, thy life has thy ordered in wisdom, and has called understanding thy mother. So you get to see even understanding. All right? Wisdom and understanding. That's 30, was that Isaiah 33 and 6? Wisdom and understanding shall be the stability of thy time. So wisdom and understanding are synonymous with one another, and they're likened unto a woman. Because when you have understanding and you have wisdom about certain things, you can comfort yourself through situations because of the wisdom that you gain and the understanding that you obtained from things that you go through. So when you make decisions, it's based off the wisdom that you got in former situations. So don't always be afraid to be wrong about things, because in a turn, you'll gain the understanding of wisdom on that and be right if it comes rolling around the next time. You learn from your mistakes. All right. So let's got that out the way. Let me go to Proverbs chapter 1. I'm going to go straight to the point. Proverbs 1 and 6. It says to understand a proverb in the interpretation thereof, in the interpretation, the words of the wise in their dark sayings. All right, in their dark sayings. Let's see here, dark sayings, real quick, and see what dark sayings means. All right, so in the Hebrew, dark sayings is chayad, and that means a riddle, difficult question, a parable. All right, it says perplexed saying or question. So when the scriptures are saying, oh, wisdom is like when it says in her or in she, referring to wisdom, it's a dark saying. It's a perplexity. All right. But in a sense, it's saying that because wisdom's characteristics and qualities, like I was mentioned earlier, it's a dark saying that you have to understand. And you have to get someone to help you understand that. That goes back to the eunuch in Philip. All right. He's the eunuch. The Ethiopian eunuch was reading Isaiah, and the Spirit led Philip over there and be like, hey, what are you reading? He was like, I'm reading Isaiah. And of course, in the book of Isaiah, the eunuch was reading about Yahushua, but he didn't understand it. He's like, well, I need someone to teach me. And Philip was there to teach him and give him the understanding. Therefore, he got the understanding and the wisdom of that scripture. And once you get that understanding, it comforts you. Because before, it's like, dang, man, I can't figure this out. It gets frustrating when you can't figure something out. But when you understand it, you become relieved. And comfort relieves you from stress. Simple. Okay? So pretty much when the scriptures are talking about wisdom and referring it as a she or her, or like I was reading in 2nd Ezra 13 and 55, likened unto a mother, it's because of the quality and characteristic. It's just a dark saying. Doesn't mean the scriptures are putting a gender on wisdom. Okay? So this is Jeremiah chapter 6 and 1. It says, O ye children of Benjamin, gather yourselves to flee out of the midst of Jerusalem, and blow the trumpet in Tekoa, and set up a sign of fire in Beth. I'm butchering this. I always butcher this word. Beth Hecarim, if I'm saying that correctly, for evil appeareth out of the north in great destruction. Verse 2, the point I want to get at. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So with this, all right, this further proves the point of why wisdom, you don't put a gender on wisdom. It's literally an adjective. It's a word. It has its characteristics. It has its definition. Let it be that, but you can understand why the scriptures liken it unto a woman because of what I was speaking about earlier in this lesson. So here in Jeremiah 6:2, which this is brought out a lot, it says, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. Now, one thing you got to understand, when the scriptures speak about certain nations, it will say her or she. All right. Prime example. Let's go to modern times today. What do Russians call their country? Mother Russia. Okay. You go and read in the book of, what is it? I want to say Galatians. Matter of fact, one second, I can find it better in the scripts. And when I say scripts, I mean like the physical book. So I had to go to my physical book to find it. You know, it's a little easier. You know, you have your sword for so long. You know exactly where to go, what side of the page it's on. Brothers know what I'm talking about. You know how to wield your sword. So yeah, Galatians 4:26. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. That's a classic script. Galatians 4:26. And Lord willing, this is edifying and, you know, understanding. Galatians 4:26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. That's speaking about our homeland. You know, like the Russians be like, Mother Russia. Well, we want to go to the motherland. All right. But does it make that land a she or her? No, it's just a land. All right. But pretty much, you know, you could say the motherland is where you originated from. All right. Where you came from. And let's keep it a buck. Your father, I don't want to be too graphic, but your father does his thing with your mother. And then you are formed in the belly. You know, you can read that in Wisdom of Solomon. You're formed in the belly. And then you pop out the matrix. So you came out of your mom, all right? So it's like, in a sense, saying the same thing. When we want to go back to our homeland, we want to go back to where we popped out of. But is that land, when you go and pick the grass up, you're walking on her? Or no? It's metaphorical. It's a metaphor to get you to understand what, you know, things are being brought out. I'm going to get back to Jeremiah 6 because there's some more points I want to bring out, but this is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, and I'm going to start at 1. It says, And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Hamashiach. It says, verse 2, I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto you were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able. All right. So it says, verse 1 is the point, really. So when the scriptures are speaking metaphorically or in a dark saying, there's a spirit behind it, and someone needs to teach somebody. And usually the way you teach somebody is you use analogies for them to understand what the spirit may be trying to say. And usually your analogies are of the world because that's what the person understands the most. And then once they get that analogy and the understanding, you bring in the spirit of it, and then they understand the spirit of what it's trying to say. That's what Paul is saying here. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with understanding that wisdom it's not a literal woman. It's not a gender. It's just the scriptures say she or her, or liken it wisdom unto a mother because of the characteristics that it portrays. Okay? The characteristics that it portrays. Simply put. Let's go back to Jeremiah 6:2. It says, I have likened the daughter of Zion unto a comely and delicate woman. So yeah. So we read Galatians 4:26. Jerusalem is the mother of us all. So that's another reason. So, prime example. We know this is speaking about Israel. And Israel is a people before it's a place, right? So that's it. I'm an Israelite. If you believe you're an Israelite and you're a man, does that make you a woman? No. You see what I'm saying? You're still a man. You're an Israelite. So this is just the Lord using it in a dark saying or a metaphorical saying, And also when you go into read the Gospels, it talks about the bride and the groom, all right, and the husband. We are considered the bride, and we're going to be married unto Yahushua when he comes back, meaning we're going to be received back. All of that is metaphorical to how the transition is going to happen. But we understand through the Spirit what he's speaking about. Doesn't make me a woman like when he comes back, I'm going to be wearing a white dress. No. Okay? We're just going to be, it's just metaphor, dark sayings that the scriptures have, and someone has to teach you to understand it. But I'm not going to get too deep into that parable. That's again, Yahushua was speaking parables to the people. But if the Spirit was on somebody, they can understand the parable that he's bringing. And really, the parables that he was giving were analogies that were happening literally in the world. Bridegroom, marriage, things of that nature. He had a plethora of other parables. The parable of the fig tree. Well, fig tree is literally here. But in the Spirit, you got to understand what he's talking about. You see what I'm saying? All right. So it's the same thing when the scriptures use wisdom or liken wisdom unto a woman. Doesn't mean it has a gender. Don't think too deep. Think one deep. All right. So let's go back. So this is Jeremiah. So to bring some more understanding to Jeremiah 6:2, because in the first verse, it's warning the children of Benjamin for an impeding destruction. It says, for great destruction are coming from the north. Now, to get full understanding of why Jeremiah 6:2 is in place and why he's liking Zion or Israel to a comely and delicate woman, because what? A woman cannot sustain themselves during impeding destruction or war. So you have to let's go back to Jeremiah, the 4th chapter. All right. Jeremiah, the 4th chapter, real quick. I think it's let me see something. Again, let me open the physical scripts. All right. And bring you the understanding of why the Lord was likening Jeremiah, Israel in Jeremiah 6:2 to a woman. All right. Bear with me real quick. Bear with me one moment here. Salakia. Trying to find it here. All right, there it is. 4 and 6. So it's Jeremiah chapter 4 and 6. It says, set up the standard towards Zion. Retire. Stay not. Meaning retreat. For I will bring evil from the north and a great destruction. So we're getting understanding here. It says, the lion is come up from his thicket. The destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He has gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy city shall be laid waste without an inhabitant. This is a twofold prophecy. Okay? But I'm going to get into the earlier side of this prophecy. So we all know Jeremiah, okay? And ultimately we know who the destroyer of the Gentiles is, but I'm not getting into that right now, okay? What I'm getting into, all right, because this prophecy applies to today, as you know, in these modern times coming up here soon, all right? But what I want to get into is what Jeremiah was speaking about back then, a prophecy that was about to come during his time, all right? So I'm going through these scripts right now. I'm going to go to 2 Chronicles chapter 36, all right? And this is how you get this understanding. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. So let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 36, and let's start at 11. Okay? Let's start at 11. So Zedekiah was 1 and 20 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, his power, and humbled not himself before Jeremiah, the prophet, speaking from the mouth of the Lord. So what is Jeremiah saying here in verse 7? The lion has come up from his thicket. Because Jeremiah was prophesying to King Zedekiah. And King Zedekiah was the last king before what? The Babylonians came and destroyed him. So that takes us to Daniel chapter 7. And we go to 7 and 4. It says, we'll start at 3. And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse from one another. The first was like a lion, and the eagle, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon its feet as a man, and the man's heart was given to it. This is speaking about the Assyrians / the Babylon, but mainly the Babylonian Empire. Okay, so we're mainly talking about the Babylonian Empire here in Daniel 7 and 4. And that's what Jeremiah was talking about, because it's the lion that came up from his thicket. And what is this? The first was like a lion, which are the Babylonians. So when we go to 2 Chronicles 36, Jeremiah was speaking about the Babylonians coming in Jeremiah 4 and 7. So let's go back to Jeremiah. Let's go back to Jeremiah chapter 6 and 2. All right. I've likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So a comely and delicate woman is not in position to defend herself. So therefore, like it said in Jeremiah 4, retire. And like it said here in Jeremiah 6, you delicate woman, flee, because I got a great impending destruction from the north, the Babylonians coming to destroy you. That's what Jeremiah is saying, and that's why he's likening Israel to a woman. But doesn't make, you see what I'm saying? You can't just make a nation a woman. A nation is a nation. But he's likening the nation unto a woman because of the impending destruction that is coming, what he was talking about in Jeremiah, the 4th chapter. It's a dark saying. You see what I'm saying? It's a dark saying, but someone needs to teach you to understand it fully. Okay? Someone needs to teach you. It's a perplexity. It's perplexed. It's a riddle. All right? Like we have the word here in the Hebrew for a dark saying in Proverbs, the 1st chapter. But even if you read up, it says Proverbs 1 and 5, it says, a wise man will hear and will increase in learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto the wise counsel, meaning explanation on how to understand these proverbs, to understand a proverb in the interpretation, the words of the wise in the dark sayings. So how do you understand the interpretations in the dark sayings in the proverbs? By inclining your ear and your willingness to learn and to keep by a man of understanding to attain wise counsel. That's how you understand the dark saying. That's how you understand that wisdom doesn't necessarily have a gender. It's just the word wisdom, you know, simply put. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to probably end it right there. Lord willing, that was edifying. Lord willing, that did answer the question, you know, that the brother did have on the comment board. Lord willing, watch the lesson, do your due diligence in your own studies, because the scriptures say, study to show thyself approved. Also, the scriptures say, for the simple believeth in every word, but a prudent man looketh well to his going. So even so, everything that I'm kicking to you right now through the Spirit, still go back and look it up to confirm it. And then also the scriptures talk about the church of Berea. The church of Berea were a very a studious bunch. They would say they were more studious than the Thessalonians, who the Thessalonians were a very studious bunch as well. And they looked up everything that Paul said to see and confirm if he was right. It's the same thing I do, other brothers do, and I'm saying that to you too, to go ahead and look up everything that I said today in this lesson is correct. But that goes to answer the question in the title of this lesson: is wisdom a woman? Nah, wisdom is just wisdom. It's just likened unto the woman because of the characteristics that it portrays. And it's really just a word. It's just an adjective. All right? That's simple, you know. So, Lord willing, now that was edifying. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone to rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. And that Salakia, something just came up into my mind about Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 4. It says, "Give me wisdom that sitteth by the throne." Bring some a little bit more understanding on that. You can go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 24 real quick. All right, I'm gonna be quick and I'm gonna close it out. Ecclesiasticus chapter 24 and 1. Wisdom shall praise herself. See it again. Wisdom shall praise herself. But it's not an actual gender. And shall glory in the midst of her people. All right. In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power. I have came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth as a cloud. Well, who came out of the mouth of the Most High? I'm going to keep that as a rhetorical question. You can answer it for yourself in your due diligence. It says, I dwelt in high places, and my throne is in a cloudy pillar. I am compassed in the circuit of heaven, and walked in the bottom of the deep, in the waves of the sea, in all the earth, and in every people and nation I got a possession. It says, with all these I sought rest, and in whose inheritance shall I abide? So the Creator of all things gave me a commandment. Who did the Most High give a commandment to? Going back to Genesis, the first chapter. Again, rhetorical question that you do your due diligence to study on. If you do watch this lesson, answer it in the comment section below. Anyone can answer it in the comment section below, actually. It says, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest. And who was made by the Most High? Who was the first begotten made? Who was the first fruit made by the Most High? Answer it below in the comments. And said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob and thine inheritance in Israel. And he created me from the beginning before the world, and I shall never fail. And in the holy tabernacle I served before him, and so was I established in Zion. Likewise, in the beloved city he gave me rest, and in Jerusalem was my power. All right, so I'm going to stop it there, and you let me know who that's speaking about in the comment section below. So going back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9 and 4, I already answered this. Give me wisdom that sitteth by the throne. That's Yahweh Shai. All right, that sits by the throne. So Lord willing, this was edifying. We'll give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And repent for Yahweh Shai is coming back sooner than what me and you believed. Until the next time, Shalom.